Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Global Reporters on Eyes of Africa TV. Yeah, today we are here again as usual. Every Saturday, 4 p.m. Nigeria time and 5 p.m. European time. This week has been an interesting week for the political system in Nigeria. It has been it has been so sweet seeing it that the elite are the ones fighting themselves. So I think this is a welcome development because as the EFCC boss that is normally hunting people out there is now being hunted for looting. This is how bad the country can be. That's you were in office where the corridor where you have to fight those who are eating the system up. But unfortunately, you are fighting people that has looted the nation dry. Meanwhile, you are recovering looted funds and relooting them. This is the system where we find ourselves. And this one has to sound as a warning to everyone. Let's start from the issue of Adam Soshomole. Within a week, he became an ordinary man. So same thing has happened to the EFCC boss, Wagon. So it's going to keep going. It's going to keep going. They will not you will not just eat public fund and go. And those that are fighting you, let's start from Malami. Is not even the Attorney General Federation is even worse. Is even worse. But he's the one wanting using his office. Meanwhile, this office is not a crown. You don't inherit this office. It's something that somewhere you go 1 or 2, 3 years you are out of it. Can you hear me, Pastor Tim?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So it has been so sweet for me this week that the EFCC boss are like, okay, you are sending people here and there to do this, do that. Today it's now your turn. So you have to see that, oh, I want to fight corruption. I am to lead people and recover looted funds in the country. And you should not be the one reluting the fund. Now he has been affected. The DSS boss should not think that he is free. No one is free as far as Nigeria is concerned. No one is free and no one is safe. We are scared of they give us fear and we are scared of dying, okay? Because of we I don't want to die, you don't want to die. Now we are accept the fate that okay, we should allow them do their thing. After all, no one can stop them. I don't want to die. Your parents will talk to you, your children, your wife, and whatever. Your friends, you are not the only person in this country. You don't know if you speak, they will come after you. See, as far as Nigeria is concerned, when you speak, they come after you is even the safest. Because when you are walking on the road, you are scared of armed robbers, you're scared of kidnappers, you're scared of Boko Haram. You're scared of being killed by bandit herdsmen. Then we go to bad roads. Then we go to our bad healthcare. Then we go to the police. We go to the army. So you see, everywhere you go, nowhere is safe. Even the police are killing people even more than kidnappers and armed robbers these days. This is how bad it can be. So what do you have to say about this, Ambassador Ting?
Yeah, honestly, that is the situation we found ourselves in Nigeria, and unfortunately, that's how it goes. Nigerian system of government is a kind, even the politics, I would say, is a kind that they will use you after
Dump
you,
you.
they will now dump you. As they are dumping you, they will come after you. That is just the game. So when you receive an appointment in a certain office, even any appointment, There are things you are bound to do. There are things they will expect you to do. You are not going to do things that will benefit the country, but you are going to do things that will benefit those that put you in that position. That is how I say it.
Yeah.
That is exactly what you're going to do. Now, if you don't take their oath, if you don't do exactly what they told you to do, if you try to play smart, they will allow you to play that smart. But they will still use you and they will dump you. And immediately they are dumping you, they are entering their nest immediately.
Yeah.
They will just catch you with their net. So, but there's something I actually want to let Nigerians know. They said in every rumor there's an iota of truth.
Yeah.
Mago, the ex EFCC board, started pointing out, calling names of those he gave some money.
Okay.
Nigerians are out there trying to defend those they want to defend and trying to pick stones to throw on those they want to throw stones on. I really want to say openly that if he has mentioned any name, I
Any name,
think
yeah.
we need to investigate properly because there must be a truth in it.
True, yeah, exactly.
There must be a truth in it. He mentioned the vice president. An NPC ex boss, and all that. So if we can go on and check those things, we need to investigate because we are no longer kids. Magu is not a kid that he will just be out of fear. You start
Mentioning
calling.
name, yeah.
He's not a child because it's only a Nigerian child that you will beat. After beating the child, give the child a biscuit and ask the child who beat you. He will point at a wrong person
The wrong
and accuse.
person.
That's Nigerian child for you.
You
Magu,
see, that is
Magu
where the corruption starts. It's an inborn thing.
exactly. But Magu is not a kid. It's not a child that we expect to do that. So if he has mentioned any name, which means there are still names he still has to mention.
Yeah.
There are still names he still has to mention. Everybody he mentioned his name is never a sent. Everybody he mentioned his name, directly or indirectly, is never a sent.
Indirectly.
But the unfortunate thing is that, as you are going to see, after mentioning all these things and all these broadcasts, all this brouhaha in this EFCC stuff, you discover that everything will die off. Even if they take it to court, the attorney general will cut his own share. After cutting his own share, before you know what is happening, the whole case is being died off. Now, all this money, whose money are they? This is not stealing. Whose money are they destroying like this? This is our money. And
Taxpayers' money.
all the people that are concerned, every citizen will keep quiet, will still keep mute and be watching the drama going on. And nobody will raise a question. Even the Senate, I still expect them to do, in fact, that is just what Nigerian politics is all about. When they give you an appointment, they expect you to do something. I watched I came across a video today about I think was that a finance minister saying something about contract and order, but I didn't even give much attention, but because she was actually calling him and stating how everything happened. But at a point she said that the man asked her to take an oath and she refused
Oh,
to take it.
exactly. Yeah.
That he expected he persuaded her to take an oath and she refused to take the oath. Now,
And
as
probably.
signed the document they wanted her to sign, they now came after her. And that is exactly Nigeria for you. My own question is, when are we going to sit up and let all these things end? Because it will never end if you don't sit up and do the right thing you're supposed to do. I am not talking about the government or the politicians because they are not there to do anything. They are there to do exactly what Magu has done and what others have done to eat the money. Look away, cut the money, put in their pocket. If you talk, if they must give you a position, you must dance to the tune. I am talking about every citizen of the country, every citizen of Nigeria should sit up and let's raise a question and ask them what actually is happening. Because they are not there to defend us, they are not even there to protect us. Look at the way they are killing people here and there. I don't. We are talking about. Look, we are talking about face mask in Imo State. In Imo State, a young man, an Okada rider was killed, was shot by police because of face mask. Is there any protest? None, because of he did not wear face mask. So every day in this country, we hear one story or the other, and nobody's. Well, we are not even trying to do anything about it. We can only record it and post it on social media, but there's no protest. There's no demand. There's no demand about what should be or what should happen. So that is all I could say concerning that at the moment.
The issue of Nigeria has to do is not a one man thing. That is where we all get it wrong. Like they were elected into the office and we allow them do whatever things that comes from their mind, and they go away with it because no one is going to ask them. The security operatives, they have them in their palm, and they take full control of everything. And I'll tell you that this administration is the worst administration Nigeria has ever had. They pretend in fact they lied about everything, everything. They lied with everything. They will come in and tell you, okay, we want to fight corruption. And if I tell you the money that we all owe, PDP, you have destroyed the nation for the past 16 years. For 16 years, the money PDP borrowed, these people have doubled that money times three in 5 years. This is how bad it could be. Okay, look at the Chinese. They'll come to Nigeria, illegal miners. The Amotekun arrested some Chinese nationals, some illegal miners. Okay, now they hand over these people to the police. And along the line, the illegal job was linked to a senator, a Nigerian senator. Okay, what's going to happen next? These guys are going to go free. And now the police are asking the one they don't even have a legal visa to stay in this country. They don't even have a working permit, but they are doing an illegal job. This is what we cannot even if you are doing a genuine job in their country, it's hell for you. But in our own country, whatever thing anybody you can come in and do whatever thing you want. Our politicians and leaders don't care. The only language they understand is give me money. When it comes to looting, they are very good at that. They know what it takes, they know all the tricks to play to get money, but they don't know what it takes or the tricks to play to fix roads, to give us good security, to give us electricity, to give us basic amenities, to give us good water. You still go to in Nigeria as a Nigerian citizen, there's one thing we know. We are used to giving ourselves lights. When you are building a house, you have to build a place where you put your generator. Now people are using solar panel. Now we are creating, giving ourselves lights. As a Nigerian, you have to get a borehole for yourself to give yourself good water. Everything you do it for yourself, and you work and pay tax to who? So paying tax in Nigeria is really, really, really useless. If Nigeria is too big for these people to lead, let everybody go apart. If it's too big for you, let's go for restructure. Everybody go. Everybody, each governor, each state should manage their resources, manage whatever thing they have. If you think it's too big, because the federal government taking control of everything in Nigeria, it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't make sense. I don't see what they are doing since the past 4 years, since the past 5 years. And the saddest part is we shouldn't be talking of even now because we've missed it. We should be talking of 2023 because these people are already prepared. They are already working towards 2023. The moment they are elected into office, the next thing they start thinking or planning for is the next election. Meanwhile, you have 4 years. You have 4 years. But they start thinking of the next election. What do we do? Who is going to take over? How do I take over? How do I win the next election? This is the only thing they understand. You were elected into an office to do some certain job. Nobody forced you to come and do it. You chose to run for a president or a senator or whatever. And you came in, you were elected. When you got there, the next thing you start thinking is, how do I win the next election? And even when they're outgoing after like after 8 years, which is a normal thing apart from the case of Ambode. After 4 8 years, they start thinking of who is the next person, who is my loyalist that will come in. It's so you are not coming for the people, you're coming for yourself. And the idea of they buy your vote. The reason why our people cannot really speak up, I'll tell you, majority of these people they sell their vote. So you didn't elect these people to office because they paid for it. So you cannot hold them accountable. This is why you see that okay, whatever thing that happens, they take it like that because they've paid you for the next 4 years of suffering that they are coming to give you, and you accepted it by giving you out your vote. See, if you give these people 50,000 naira, Nigerians can even give you their voters cards. Just take. They don't even they just take. Next election, use it to vote on your own. They can give it to you. That's how bad the system can be because we all believe that our vote doesn't count. Our vote doesn't count. If your vote don't count, these people they will not leave their seats to come and start frying akara for you on the roads. They will not leave that power that or with the plenty escorts they have. They will not live there and start pretending that they want to eat with children, suffering children in classroom. This shows that your votes count. Your vote has power. If your vote doesn't count, since they have all the power all it takes to ring the election, like they made us to believe, they will not pay you vote for them. They'll just sit down and after election they will just announce results. So this shows that your vote really counts. And this is the only thing we can do to get our country back. If we are not if we don't do this, sorry, we are not going to get anything right. 2023 is what we start thinking of because we have missed it for this tenure. We have to wait for them to do whatever thing they want to do. Currently, Nigeria has becoming, in fact, from the federal level, you do whatever. If you're occupying any office, use your office. The president doesn't even say anything, so they don't assume that anybody is living there. They do whatever thing you want to do. If you are holding any power, do whatever thing you think you can do. And the case of Magu, I think it should serve as a warning to every Nigerian out there, those in the corridor of power. One day if you are in power, you shouldn't say, "Oh, because I'm here, I have to do whatever thing that comes from my mind." Or I will do 4 years. 4 years is just like within a short time. When was Buhari elected? 2015. Now he's in his second tenure. That's how fast it can be. Now after this 2023 is going, so it becomes an ordinary person like me and you. The only difference is they add the word ex-president. That's the only different thing. It becomes an ordinary person. He doesn't have power like he doesn't give order like he's giving now. This is the difference. So why we do go into this office and forgetting that you're not going to remain there forever. These people will come for you someday. Whatever thing you have looted, we should not talk of the children now because some of the children are supporting their parents and some might be against their parents, but we don't care. Our own is the destiny of Nigerians as by just people. So they are not up to 10 million and it's controlling the destiny of over 200 million people. It's so sad. It's so sad. Everybody claim, "Whoa, we've been marginalized." See, the problem we have now is we all have one common enemy, which is the leader. So the idea of we trying to, some will say, "Oh, they are Christians. I'm a Muslim." We have to cut these things away because when they are not only dealing with the Christians or the Muslim, they are dealing with everybody. Everybody is. They don't give some certain region water or give some certain area light. Everybody is in darkness in the country, so they don't care whether you are a Christian or a Muslim. We are in darkness. I don't have light, you don't have light. We struggle to take care of ourselves. Look at since COVID-19 came, we were complaining that immediately President Buhari has been power, a lot of people lose their job during the reception. See, the doom that is ahead, that is coming. Most people may not see it now. See, the doom that is coming. They might be buying bag of rice for 100,000 naira if they are not careful. Because these people are never prepared for anything. They are never prepared for anything. The only language they understand is They take advantage of any opportunity that comes their way to loot. That's the only thing they do. They take advantage of it. Okay, there's this problem is around. Okay, there's COVID-19. Okay, let's see how we can loot. They started coming with figures. In fact, football figure is even slow compared to the one we have. They started coming with figures. Started doing that. Why? Because they want to loot money. People were donating. Where are those money that they donated? Look at their solution centers they have in Nigeria. Trash. The money that was donated in Nigeria, they can give us standard hospital. In Nigeria, we don't even have. Now they were sick during COVID-19. They were looking for a place where they can run to because all the borders were closed. Nobody ever think that this will happen any day in the history of the world. Now the world we are all struggling to get back on our feet. What is Nigeria doing to get back on their feet? People are losing their job. People, in fact, they use COVID-19 to loot and make a lot of people lose their job and become poor. Yet, we still have some people that will still say, "Oh, this you go online and you still see people arguing over nonsense." People argue, "Oh, this one has it's not because of this man, it's not because of this." It's not. Are you blind? Where did we learn this thought from? Anything that has to do with Nigeria, Nigerians are the major problem. See, these bad people that are killing this country, you know the saddest part, they still have followers. They still have people following them. They still have people praising them. They still have people that will say, "Oh, if not because of this man, this thing would have changed." They still have all these people. I don't know where they got the idea of, "Oh, let's wait, change will come." See, there will be no change. We have missed it for now. We should start thinking of 2023. And if you know you are not capable of delivering anything good to Nigeria, it's simple as resigning. Recently, you see a lot of people resigning from different office. So what happened if the president think Nigeria is so big and complicated for him? You better just sign and go and end the respect Nigerian, end your respect instead of you to stay there and get insulted and meanwhile you are not doing anything. You see something happen and the president will be saying they have not briefed me. What? In a country where everything has to go through you, it happening is everywhere. They are not brief you yet. So this is the problem we all have. I have the same problem. You have the same problem, and every Nigerian have the same problem. Look at the issue of. I'm not trying to justify that of hush puppy, but now, oh, everywhere. Yes, it did this, it did that, it did this, it did that. See, we have more problems than those in Dubai. They were quick to arrest Hush Pumpy because okay, he has been looking at this. Yeah. But when I steal money as a Nigerian and take it to Dubai, nobody's going to arrest me. But because he's doing that, we have more problems. We have these politicians that are stealing money and bringing this money to your country, get them arrested and return the money to wherever it's coming from. This is when we know that you are really doing your job. It's not for you to arrest one person and leave the real lookers. Whatever thing he has collected is small compared to what the politicians we have there have been looking Nigeria back. And Nigeria at the moment we have no hope. We have no hope. See, suffering is going to increase. Okay, they just started now by increasing the pump price amid COVID-19. The only thing you could think of is to borrow. The next thing you could think of is let's increase this money. So who knows what's going to happen next? Okay, look at about 350 something soldiers. They are tired of working. They are resigning, which is the best for them because you rather resign as a soldier than go to a fight that you know that you will never win. You are going to fight people with guns. You are going there with not even the cutlass. You are going there with gyro. Gyro. This is what they do with a razor blade. You fight people with real ammunitions with razor blades. So it is better for you to resign and get killed. Immediately they kill you, they will kick your family out of the barrack. Look at the other day, the guy that came out to tell Nigerian truth, he was arrested. Up to now, nobody is saying anything about it. Nobody is saying it. We are all quiet. This one will happen. They'll fall down. This one, I don't have any business. I don't want to, no, I don't want to involve myself with this. Why? Because of our own selfish interest. We are all too greedy. As a Nigeria, we are too greedy. We need to come out of this greed. We need to wake up and come out of it and face our fear. We have one common enemy. This is it. The problem we are having today, if our parents have joined hands with that of the like mind of Abiola, Fela, and all of that, by now we'll be enjoying it. We may think that okay, let me just live my life. See, your children are coming to suffer the same thing. And the same people that looted our parents, they are still controlling this generation. Even if they die, see, if they die, they will hand over they will hand over that power to their children if you fold your hands. They will hand over to their children because they know that you won't talk. If you talk, they give you threats and everybody keep quiet. Your parents call you, oh, see, you are not the only person in this country. You know, you have to stop doing this, you have to stop doing that. Okay. Now, even when we have people who are in front line, want to do this. The only thing they need is support. No, Nigeria, they cannot even support you. What they will do is they will go there, stay behind the scene, and watch and see you fall when you are fighting for them. You see a lot of people from diaspora going back home want to fight for Nigeria. Okay, we want a Nigeria that will work for everybody. Okay, see, look at Dubai suspending Nigerians from working. So this thing is going to happen. Look at what happened the other day in Ghana. The Nigeria university destroyed. They do whatever thing they want to do to Nigeria. So they can be doing these things to the leaders, the nation. So what happened to you, the common Nigerian? You see, so we have no hope. We have no hope. Election is coming now in Benin. You still see some people campaigning for the wrong person. Why? For their own selfish interest. We have our own interests. I want a good Nigeria. You may not. You may be benefiting from the bad system, so you may never pray for the country to be good because when it's good, your source of income will stop. So you keep praying and working hard for the economy never to get better. This is where we find ourselves. Ambassador thing.
Yeah, honestly, you've really said it. You've really said a lot about how decadent the whole situation is because it's really tiring. It's really tiring. What goes on in my mind is how we can figure out on how we can fix all this mess because we cannot fix this mess with all these people in that offices. Imagine if you go to, sorry I have to say it, if you go to the Senate House now or House of Rep and see the caliber of people that are there, I will say only few of them are really responsible. Let them just stand up and speak English. Yeah, you just share something that will throw you out of your coach. Honestly, you just share something that will throw you out of the coach. So most of the times when we start talking about defending policies, defending the law, trying to defend the populace, what actually do they know about what they should be doing? That's another problem. I think I'm on the opinion that we need to fix all this mess by going down to the grassroots of the electorate. The electorates have a lot to do because Nigerian politics has turned to become an issue that nobody wants to identify himself because they will always tell you, hey, are you waiting for government? What will government do for you? Are you waiting for government? What will government do for you? Government, maybe this government too. I think it's high time even those in the villages have to sit up and ask their traditional rulers questions and let the traditional rulers go to the governor and ask the governor those questions, why the governor should not ask the president those questions. Because I know that in this country, they are not running the country with on credit. Let me use that word. They are not running the country on credit. We pay our tax. People pay their taxes. And all these taxes we pay, they eat the money, and the money is not even enough for them. They now go and borrow on our head. Come on, what kind of mess is that? You earn the tax money, the taxpayers' money, after eating the taxpayers' money, that one is not enough for you, and you now went ahead and borrowed on the head of the taxpayers also. So this madness has to stop. I think it's cited because I know every month, every state is being given an allocation. Those allocations, what do they do with it? What are the new things? Because the money keeps flowing in, keeps coming in. I now discover that all our politicians, what they are just there, is like entering into a law. Winning an election in Nigeria is entering into a law of money on the expense of the citizens. When they win the election, they don't care about anybody around. Now look at how it goes. The person that puts you in there, because you must have a godfather, you have to be servicing the person, paying your royalties. That is how the money goes. At the end of the month, you get the millions and billions you are bound to get. Whether the money is for the community or your own, they eat the one that you used to do the work, and they also eat their own. Now you now cut out from that money and pay your royalties to the godfathers. After paying to the godfathers, you now tell the citizens, I'll go to hell, whatever thing that is happening. Honestly speaking, it's really, really sad that, look at, now, when you see a senator giving scholarship, and people will start applauding the senator. Applauding him for what? Is that his money? He's not even using the money he's supposed to use to do the work in the community, in the senatorial zone, to do anything, and they will take the money and bribe people with scholarship. What a madness. Now, out of the 100% of the work or what they were giving money for, when they bring out 1% of that money and do one thing or the other, say they are doing empowerment, and people will start applauding them. It is high time the citizens of Nigeria should sit up. We should open our eyes. We should open our eyes, because if we go back to record, if we get the records of the allocation being given to every government, you discover that we are just blind. Nobody is seeing anything. Nobody is seeing anything. So it is high time we sit up and start asking questions. Traditional rulers are meant to be in charge of communities. Now, governors are meant to be in charge of the states. Senators are meant to be in charge of the senatorial zones. And there were money, there were responsibilities they need to carry on, and this money are being given to them on a monthly basis. Now, look at what happens. Not just that they're eating this money, the little one they're supposed to invest here and make people be encouraged and make sure that these funds stay inside there, they send them abroad. They send those money abroad. Now, how many of them are their children studying in this country? Can you name any of them? Their children is studying, paying school fees in this country, and we are sure that the money is getting into the purse of this country. How many of them? Now, during this COVID-19, the Senate House went and bought how many cars that amount in trillions? Outside Nigeria, why we have a manufacturer here, innocent? Why we have a manufacturer? The billions that have gone out of our economy. Can you tell me the billions that have gone out of our economy? It now belongs to another country, no longer Nigeria. Now, who is fooling who? Because they are not ready to even encourage anybody that you now look at it. I understand that when it comes to politics, they will start thinking, Nigeria cannot produce a quality thing, blah, 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 blah. No. That is where they got it wrong. If they want a Nigerian or Nigerians to produce something that is quality, let them consume what Nigerians are producing, and they will tell Nigerians how to produce them and how it should be. That is when we have quality control. Anything outside that will never have quality control, and our money will keep going outside the nation. They will push the money out, and they will still go back and borrow that money on our head. Now look at how much is dollar now. I remember in the past when 1 naira was much money in dollar. I mean 1 Nigerian naira was much money in dollar. That was when there was a country called Nigeria, because now there's no more country called Nigeria. I'm not sure we're even existing. I am not sure that we're even existing. I tried to do a kind of review about IT in Nigeria, how it's trending. I discovered that Nigerian guys, what they are doing in the sector of technology is really, really amazing. But they don't have any encouragement. Nobody is encouraging them and nobody is pushing them forward. Rather, they will prefer going outside there, spend the money that's supposed to be here, and get rubbish. Sorry to say this, you'll discover if you do an X-ray about the quality of services they give, or some other countries come to Nigeria and render, you discover that we have people that know all these things more than those people we went out to bring them because we call them whites, because we call them foreigners. It is also another avenue to steal. It is also another avenue to steal. Okay, look at the reference you made. Illegal gold miners in Nigeria, Chinese. Go to their country and try that. Then you now tell me where you find yourself. You tell me where you find yourself. Go to their country and try that mess. You tell me where you find yourself. But it is happening in Nigeria. And
Nothing is going to happen.
and
Yeah.
something is happening and nobody cares. Such thing is happening and nobody cares. It is high time for the citizens to sit up and ask questions, because it is high time we take what belongs to us. It is not just a matter of we talking. It is time for action, because if we don't take action, we will carry it, our children will carry it, our next generations to come will still face the issues. That's what I have to say about this. So we need
You
to go
know,
back to the electorate. The electorate need to have a lot to do. It is not just all about selling your votes. Even as you said your vote, I have to say this. As you said your vote, you still stand the right to ask questions and demand for accountability. They need to account for all those money that get into their pocket for the people. Not when the money comes in, they will use less than 1% and see what they could brag. Imagine you are saying you are doing empowerment. Empowerment. What kind of empowerment? Buying, what are they even buying, self? Some of them bought some what do you call it? This engine, this engine they used to grind something. They call it empowerment. What kind of empowerment is that? What happened to vocational trainings? But even at that, we are really losing a lot. It is high time the citizens sit up and know what to do. They request or demand for accountability. Demand for accountability. Let them account for all this money that comes in. Let them tell us what they use this money for. Excuse me.
sorry. Yeah.
What they use this money for.
You know, the issue of sometimes, just like you said, they will say Nigerians they produce substandard goods or whatever. See, the thing is, if I tell you that if you go to a bar and buy a shoe of like 50, 20,000 naira, let's start from there, or 30,000, that shoe can compete with 500 euros shoe here, which is almost 200,000 naira. The shoe you buy in Aba, the leather and everything in quality is so strong. We want good thing, but we want to pay small money to get good thing because it's Nigerian made. But we can spend so much money to get that thing we think it's real. 50, 20, let's say a hundred euro shoe here. If you buy that same shoe in Nigeria, you get same quality. 100 euro shoe, let's say 40,000 naira. You get a better quality in Nigeria than here. But because it was made by a white man, oh, Nigerians, we can die over it. Believe me, as a Nigerian, we are blessed with natural and human resources. In fact, the human resources we have, we can do even more than what the whites do. The point is, we need, if we have the same machine they have, we'll do more than they do. If you are working with these people, you see that five white people combined will be only you working. Five people, five white people, put them together will be only you. But yet in Nigeria, they will tell you, oh, substandard. Innocent. Imagine when I saw those cars from Toyota they bought, you shed tears. People are crying, people are hungry, people are losing their job. There is no hope. Depression everywhere, but we have looters. They are looting. They take every opportunity to loot. When you are going into power, the first thing they tell you is they give you conditions of how you are going to govern, of how you are going to rule, of what you are going to do. See, when these people, when they are going into power, when they are asking, seeking for your vote, they are very loyal and humble. But once they climb that office, trust me, you know that these people are not accessible. Nigerians, we really need to wake up. It's time because I think we still have time. We can make it possible. We can make it happen in 2023. We need to wake up and fight for what rightfully belongs to us. We still have 3 years to do this. We can do it and we'll achieve it. Just that we need cooperation, we need unity. We need to come together as one. Let's take away tribalism, religion, and whatever thing that has to do with that is dividing us. These things are dividing us. You are a Christian, I'm a Muslim, you are this, you are that. Let's take all these things away and let's come together and fight for what rightfully belongs to us. Because they are not suffering you because you are a Christian. The Muslims don't have light, they live in darkness. The Christians live in darkness. We all use bad roads, irrespective of your religion or whatever tribe, language, or wherever you come from. We all use the same road, so we all are suffering. That means we all have one common enemy. The most saddest thing is you see these people, they will go and commission a wheelbarrow. They will buy. That's a project. That's a project. They will buy wheelbarrow and share to people. What are you doing? What does it cost for you to buy a wheelbarrow? You buy wheelbarrow and share to people. And the funniest thing is, you still see people. They will tell you that this person has done so well. Somebody is holding your destiny and is giving you food, giving you peanuts, taking control of your destiny, and you are happy. You see, when a governor is doing road, they say, ah, this governor is really working. He's really working. Everybody start applauding them. Why? That's their duty. That is what they pay them for every month. That is why they are there. They choose to do that work. You didn't force them to do it. So they are supposed to do it. So when I'm working, you don't expect to praise me because you are going to pay me at the end of the month. That is exactly what they are doing. So we make them feel too special. Like, I have done this, I have done that. That is what you are supposed to do. I have paid all the salary, I'm not owing anybody. That is what you are supposed to do. So they didn't elect you to office to siphon the people, to loot money, or trying to make play that oh, I am different, I don't loot money. I did see. As far as I'm concerned, any politician in Nigeria, from number one to zero, the whole of them, they are all the same. We go through the same thing. You have to go through some process. You have to go through the level of godfatherism before you can attain office. And during these things, this is where they cajole them and put them into bottle and take full control of them. You see some people, they call themselves the cabal. Cabal, they don't hold any office. They are just behind the scene, but they control everything. This is what Nigerians, we need to do. It's not only to ask questions, we need to come together and fight. If we are scared of dying, the death is already everywhere. No one is safe. I am not safe. You are not safe. As a Nigerian, you are not safe. Even when you are abroad, you are not safe because when you don't have a place where you call home, so everybody can treat you anyhow because nobody is coming to ask them. You see, some nonsense that happen out there, they do whatever thing they like, they do it to Nigerians. You cannot try that to Chinese. You can't do it to them because they have a place where they go home. They can go back to their house anytime. But Nigerians, we are scared. Where are you going? You want to go back to a country where you are scared before you travel in Nigeria. You have to go for like 7 days fasting and prayer first. From Lagos to Benin, 3 hours journey. You have to go for fasting and prayer. You pray to God. God, please, as I'm traveling, you have to help me do this, do that. You have to pray. This is how bad it can go. Everything in Nigeria we believe is prayer. They will tell you, oh, see, we need to start praying for this country. See, it's not by prayer. Everything you need to fix this country is in your hands. So it's just the only thing you need to do is do whatever thing you are supposed to do. That is when God will support you. But you folding your hand and waiting for God to just come from heaven and do the needful for you. See, we'll remain there and we'll never get it right. We have failed. We still have time. We can make corrections. all the leaders and all those in the corridor of power today, they need to make adjustments. And I was hoping that COVID-19 will make them learn that, oh, we really need to fix the healthcare. Imagine during COVID-19, the Minister of Health is not even aware that we have bad healthcare. You see, that's how bad it can be. So it's so shameful when we hear some things that okay, you are just sitting there, you don't even know why what's going on in your office. You don't even know the meaning of the office you are holding. When they ask you questions concerning your office, you are more confused than even the office itself. Every Nigerian citizen we really need to see it right. Nothing is working well for me and for you. We keep crying, we keep, even if you scream from today to tomorrow, when it comes to election, they are going to vote and sell out their votes. We are hoping that 2023 things will change. Sometimes you just feel that these people they are too comfortable with this suffering. They pretend that they are okay. When you see them, one of the reasons why we really don't think that we have a problem because Nigerians we are good at laughing. The comedians we have there can make us laugh each day. So when we are laughing, we forget that we have a problem. See, Nigeria we have a big problem, very big problem. These days, you see people migrating into Nigeria. You can go to Nigeria without a visa. You can enter the country and go out whatever time you have there. We don't have a border. No, don't, nowhere is secure. The only language you understand is take money. The other day there was a gunshot in Aso Rock. So many people were sacked, but people are dying in Nigeria. Nobody has been sacked. Bruta is not supposed to be there because you are not doing what you are supposed to do. But nobody's going to say anything about that because we are scared they are comfortable with that. But that of a Magu, okay, probably Magu has done something that they don't like. Now they are haunting him. If you step on their toes, they come after you. They all have bad records. This is why they can never act because they all have bad records. Once you want to talk, they will tell you, okay, you are free to speak, but we want to start working on your file. We need to open this file. So this is one thing that they've been using to blackmail every one of them. Even when you are good and you sit on that position, you choose to sit there among these politicians. They will have a way of bringing you down and change you to whatever thing they can bring you, turn you into. You will never be there. Right? The Senate never approved Magu to be EFCC boss from the beginning. They never approved that, but the president was comfortable with that because you think he can use him and do whatever thing you want to do. This is not the point. He was elected to fight corruption. So, but in this case, they were not using. He was not fighting only those against the president. If you are not for them, they will come after you. Then what about those? So if you don't want them to come after you, you need to join them so they won't come after you. This is what they were doing. After that, they go for young boys on the road, on the street, they harass people. In fact, the forces, the military or the security personnel we have in Nigeria, they are the most confused set of people at the moment. You see, police will do the work of EFCC, EFCC will do the work of police, DSS will do the work of police, in fact, DSS will even do the work of a soldier, but they will not. They should also go to Sambisa Forest. This is where we know that they are more confused because you see, they are confused. They do this work because okay, there's money there. They have to do that. The police will even do the work of NAFDAC. That's how bad it can be. But none of them are say, okay, yes, I can do. Since we are confused, we don't know our duties, we do everything. Okay, let's go to some Mr. Forest. The IG have never sent people to do that. Just send your boys to go and stay there, or even the DSS, EFCC, go and stay in Sambisa Forest since you don't know what they are supposed to do as to fight crime or to fight those looting Nigerian money. They will loot Nigerian money and take this money to whatever destination they want. These people will be using this money to do business. And when you want to take back this money, they will blackmail you like, okay, you have 10 million here and we cannot give you all this money. So if you say no, they will tell you, okay, we want to we'll say it out that you have so amount of money here. Okay, we need so amount. It's a bargain, the dialogue. So now you are looting Nigeria fund, taking it back. Nigerians are suffering. There's no hope for Nigeria. A common man in Nigeria getting a job is a problem. Everything that has to do with that name Nigeria there is a problem. Me, I'm tired. You are tired. We are not tired of being in Nigeria, but we are tired of the leaders. we have there. The whole of them should go. We don't need them anymore. And we cannot just sit down and say this with our mouth. We need to fight for it. We need to work towards it. We need to stand up as one and say, no, enough is enough. Now that they are fighting themselves, this is an opportunity for every one of us. We need to take advantage of this. You see that even the EFCC boss that is supposed to be fighting crime, not even clean. That's how bad it can be. Malami too is not clean. They will come for him someday. This is what is happening. They start eating themselves around. They will eat themselves around. So after doing this, Nigerians, it is not left for you to take Nigerian back and okay, we want this. See, the bad part is some of the youths that we have at this moment. They say the youth is the leader of tomorrow. The leader of tomorrow we have, most of them are even worse than the present politicians. That's how bad it can be. They are even worse. Then we were complaining of Babangida and Abacha. See, the ones we have now, they are worse than those people. The military era is even better than the era we are now. Because the military era, they don't even loot to this level. The roads that they built in the military era is what we are still enjoying today. They could not even maintain it or even give us a new road. Maintenance, we are talking of maintenance now, they could not even maintain it. So you see, the more we keep, if we want to bring anybody in, we should be careful of who we want to bring in, irrespective of whether you are a youth, whether you are young, whether you are 20 years. The generation we have now, they will do more and worse than the previous ones. See, the money that the present politicians have looted, Abasha is learning compared to these people. Abasha is learning. After now, if Buhari go, you see Nigeria, the debts that will be owing. As in Nigeria, we are not even supposed to be paying tax in that country. You are not supposed to pay tax because you pay your tax is useless. It's not useful in Nigeria. You're not even supposed to be paying tax as in Nigeria. To who? To do for what? You give yourself light, you give yourself water, everything you provide for yourself. You pay for light that you don't even use. So they find every means of extorting people. Look at the bank now. You save your money, you withdraw your money, you pay for stamp duty. So they find every means to take the little thing you have because they want to make sure that you cannot even feed yourself. It will get to see people are selling their children. They are selling their children. They will just give birth and sell the child. This is how bad it can be. The system is so bad. People will sell their children. They are not come. They arrested these Chinese people. Don't worry, within a few times you will not hear about these people again. And they will go back to mining illegally. They cannot operate without a political backup. That is what we should know. They cannot be doing that without a political backup. They have a political backup and they were arrested. They are not going to do a follow up on that. Very soon you see that they will allow them go and nobody's going to talk about that again. These people, when you are doing that, you are not deceiving me, you are not deceiving other Nigerians. You are a leader. Someday they will come for you. Someday they will come for you. Me, I am not free. I already know that in Nigeria, you don't earn any respect anywhere. Likewise, the leaders out there. When you go anywhere, the first thing they will say, "Oh, Nigeria, a rich country," but you have bad leaders. So you as a leader, you cannot be proud out there. You're one of the leaders in Nigeria because everybody knows that you have one. You are one of those that has destroyed the system. We don't have so much time again, Ambassador Tim. What do you have to say?
Yeah, I think I have to drop some words for our viewers, the audience, because that is where everything starts. Especially people will always say their vote don't count, their vote don't count. I will tell you where your vote counts. Your vote counts when you don't vote. That is where the vote counts for the
Yeah.
politician. That is when you don't vote. That is where your vote counts. But when you vote, that is now when the vote will be counted for you. Now look at how it goes. How do they rig the election? Election is being rigged by the number of those eligible voters. Now, if in this world there are 1,000 eligible voters, and physically those that voted were happen to be 100 that voted. Now, the number they're going to use to rig that election are that 900 that didn't vote. That is how it goes. That is how they reach election. So it's high time the people of Nigeria or every citizen should understand that the best thing to do to change things in the country is have your voters card ready during any election. Go out there and vote. And another thing that is happening, I need to emphasize a little bit, is that whenever after voting and they discover that people turn out to vote in that place very, very well, they will try to put confusion. They will try to put trouble, instigate trouble, so that they will scatter the voting and the result will not be mentioned. Then by the time you now start listening to electoral results, you now hear them announcing the result of a place that where you did not vote, everything was scattered. How did they get that result? And the people of that place will keep quiet, and nobody will come up to say anything about that. That is how they do it. So it is high time that the people should understand that when you go out in mass and vote, that is when your vote to be counted for you. But when you don't vote, your vote will be counting for the politicians that will rig it, because your vote is the one they will use to rig. Now, another thing is this. I think we have gotten to the point that people are supposed to screen very well the person they're about to vote into power. We need to ask them in the next election, we have to ask them questions on the responsibilities and duties of that office they are vying for. It is not just going for that position, being a senator. It is not just talking about being a senator. It is all about, do you know what a senator should be doing? Do you know what that office calls for? Do you know the responsibilities in that office? Now, the resources that comes in that office, what they are supposed to be used for. When the money comes in, that they should use to take care of education fund, infrastructural funds, they will put those money in their pocket and now come and start giving few people scholarship in the community. Now we applaud them and say, this senator is really trying, This senator is really trying, He has a scholarship fund, this and that. Then what happened to the education fund? What happened to those money? Now, it is high time the citizens of this country should be asking that question. Before you vote them into power, ask them questions about the responsibilities in that office they are vying for. And at the end of the day, when they enter that office, demand for accountability. Demand for accountability. Demand for accounts. Transparency. That is very, very important. So what I have to say, we need to go out there during every election and vote. When you vote, but before you vote, make sure that when they come close to your side, ask them questions and why you should vote them. It is high time we start changing things. We need to change our mindset. This is no longer an issue of they will come and offer you some money, then you take and close your mouth and vote them. No. If the situation is biting you, then learn something from it. Unless if it is not biting you, then you can now continue as status quo and continue the way it is. So I think that is the little I can say and leave for the audience at the moment.
The issue of accountability in Nigeria, these people have given us fear. We are tired of asking them questions because they know what the people want. They know that we need lights, we need road, we need security, and we need water, we need good healthcare. If you check, or anybody that is contesting, they always have this in their manifesto. They always have this to, okay, this is what we want to offer the people. But when they get there, they do a different thing. This shows that they really know what the people want. They really know what they are supposed to do, but they deliberately don't want to do it. And we are not and nobody's going to ask them. If we want to ask for if we want to ask for accountability, we must come out in mass.
I should say something about it. Let me just say this about it. Yes, they always come with manifesto. I think this is no longer the issue of manifesto telling us what they're going to do for us. Now, what we now want to know is, do they know the responsibilities they need to carry out? I think that is where we need to start going. The issue of what the people want and what they promise, they make promises, and all those promises are false. They are all lies. All those promises are false and they are all lies. So we now need to ask them questions based on the knowledge of that office they have. Let them now tell us that they know actually what they're doing it for. We no longer care. We don't care anymore about what they're promising to do. Building skyscraper, building this and building that. We don't care about it anymore. What we need to know is if you actually know what you're going in for. Because what they should be doing, or what they should do, is now the thing that they will not even open their mouth and say. That is the problem. And when they go in there, they will tell you, yes, I said I will do this one. I said I will do this one. That is rubbish. That is nonsense. Let us know if you actually know the responsibilities you are picking up. Then from there, we start counting when we enter there.
Okay, so and I still think that holding them accountable, we have to come out in mass. And
Exactly.
now they know that this thing might happen. This thing might happen anytime soon. They are trying to fight any means of protest in Nigeria because it's going to start like a protest. So they are trying to work against protests in Nigeria. So this is something that will not we have to do it in mass, and it doesn't have to happen in one circle. It has to happen everywhere, whether you are in those states, Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja, Kano, Bauchi, you are from Anambra. We have to come out in mass and do this and hold them accountable. That is the only way we can do that. But if it's a one-man thing, trust me, we'll never get any results. If they cannot, if Nigeria is too big, let's go for restructuring. Okay, let every region be accountable to let each one hold whatever thing you get to manage your resources. Trust me, we really don't have any poor states in Nigeria. All states cannot be rich with they cannot have equal resources. So whatever thing you have, you use it to manage your territory, hold your zone. Since it's too big for federal control. In Germany, they run a system, a restructuring system. Everyone is holding their region. You see, so this is what we want. If you cannot give us this one, you think Nigeria is too complicated for you to rule. Quietly, just because it's common these days. I tell you, in 2023, if we are serious, we can get get the country right. We still have 4 years. If you see now these days, the idea of people signing and say, "Okay, I resign. I don't want to work again." It's common these days. So I think it can happen any day. Governor will resign. It's if you think. Oh, this state is too big, this local government is too much for me. You can just do the same thing that those you've employed are doing. People sign and say, okay, oh, I don't want to work again, I'm resigning. So it's cool that whoever person that think I can do it because you were elected, nobody came to drag you in there. So you came in your own that okay, I want to do this. You can quietly go when you think you can no longer do the job again. This is what we need to start working towards. And Nigerian, we need to come together because we all need a country of our own. No one is exempted, no one is free as in Nigeria. We all have these same issues. We all have a problem. If you are holding a Nigerian passport today, trust me, you have issues. As far as it's the name is there and the green, white, green flag is there, we all have issues. The Naira is going down each day. We should do something about it between now and 2023. Mr. Pastor Mike, welcome. You were late today, but what do you have to say? We're almost out
Yeah,
of time. We're out of time anyway.
yeah. So sorry that I came late because I got an emergency call from my work,
Yeah,
which I
yeah,
had
it's
to attend
okay.
to. So sorry for that. You see, Ambassador, I greet you. You know, politics in Nigeria, the way I see it, the politicians are running it like a company. It's like a company whereby today you can try to change it from a limited company to a public to a PSC, from a PSC to a corporate, anything you just can think of because all these people, if you see them from the beginning of PDP and what's the other party, NRC, just like that. Till now, it's the same set of people. PDP, SDP, sorry, PDP and SDP is the same set of people. Since 1999, we are still serving. They are rotating it. What they only do, they change the brand of the company, the name of the company, which is the party, but it's the same people. If people are if we are saying we want another party entirely, let us bring in new, fresh people. Look at AAC, for example. You cannot find any old politician from 99 in that party going to contest. That is a new party. You're telling me PDP, but see, let me tell you, anytime we are discussing an issue, I'm always using Edo State as a case of study. Look at the present governor. I studied him very, very well, very, very well. I played my own part as the Edo ambassador against human trafficking here in Italy, and thank God, at least the result is there. That is my own contribution towards the state and Nigeria. Now, look at Edo State governor, for example, talking of manifestos. All his promises in manifestos, he cannot point at one. 4 years is gone. He has just 68 days left in office. All his promises in his manifesto, he cannot point at one. The 200 jobs, where did he create them? All the projects in Edo State are done by tech funds. So what did he use taxpayers' money for? This is somebody that is claiming they were accusing him of want to share money with politicians. You did not share money. And they ask you, who are the politicians they said you share money to? You could not point at one. But you were able to pay a delegate of PDP 360,000 naira. What are we saying? Are they taking us for a fool? Are they taking us for a ride? See, we need to start getting it right from one state to another state before presidency. If not, the system will remain like this. The system will continue like this. Somebody asked me, said, Pastor Mike, you are working under Obaseki, under his payroll. I said, yes, I know. But that doesn't mean I should not tell him the truth. I will be telling the truth. Other politicians, look at Lagos State, flood everywhere. Flood. Even at those states, flood everywhere. You see, there should be this kind of continuity of government. Not that when this government start a project, after he leaves, the next government that comes start his own, abandoning that other project. Look at the kind of flood. A one-day rain, they suffer flood in Edo State. It's too bad. Too bad. Okay, fine. Our governor is a technocrat. I agree. Until the market women began to cry that the school is not convenient for them because of COVID-19. That the school where they're located is even worse. They played deaf ear. But when elections start coming, then I said, okay, our mother, don't be angry. Come and go back to the market. Why are they playing politics with the lives of the citizens of Nigeria? Why? The thing is so embarrassing. I don't know what to tell our politicians, but it is the responsibility of we the youth to start asking them, holding